Hello there, boxing fans around the world. Thanks for joining me once again here on Talkin Fight for another episode of Boxing News Today. And we've got headlines screaming at us from around the world. Let's start off with a little bit of a result out of Argentina. We rarely get to talk about what's happening down in Latin America, but here's a lead story featuring Jonathan Hernandez, who's retained his WBA Fed Latin welterweight belt with a technical knockout victory over Marcelo Sanchez, which happened recently at Luna Park in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Alfino ended the fight in the fourth round by causing a cut to the right cheekbone of Sanchez and was not authorized to continue at that moment. So the fight was stopped and he retained his belt. Elsewhere, we saw that Maria Monio captured the WBA interim lightweight belt with a technical knockout victory over Alice Sanchez, also at the same event. The Uruguayan had a great performance against the Venezuelan and won the interim crown in a great night of boxing at the mythical Argentinian venue. It says here, Monio did not hesitate to enter the exchange against the veteran Sanchez, and both fought an impressive duel full of action and emotion during the fight. The punishment inflicted by Monio to Sanchez caused several injuries and inflammation in the face, so she could not continue before the ninth round ended and the technical knockout was decreed. So Monio now has a record of 13 wins, 1 loss, and 3 knockouts, while Sanchez left with 17 wins, 9 setbacks, 1 draw, and 6 knockouts on the record. Okay, let's move along quickly now to Virgil Ortiz, who's quite confident of victory over Imantas Stanionis this Saturday night. It's taking place in San Antonio, Texas. I want to quickly just, because Neil Adil did a great job on his show earlier in the week with respect to this fight, so I won't delve into it too much. But Ortiz, we know he's 19-0, 19 knockouts. He's been slowly building his career for this moment, and he's going to fight for the world title. Virgil Ortiz will be coming off a near-year layoff, by the way, when he challenges for the WBA welterweight champion Stanionis. Stanionis versus Ortiz will headline at the AT&T Center in San Antonio. It's a 10-round co-feature unbeaten lightweight contender Floyd Schofield, who we've mentioned often on Talkin Fight, who meets Haskell Rhodes. Ortiz last fought in August last year. He's got some ring ruts, needs to get it out of his system, but he's got an ideal opponent to give him some rounds in Stanionis. Ortiz is someone that Golden Boy believe they can turn into a star, and he has an excellent position to accomplish that once Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford move up to 154. So there might be some shuffling in that division, but also in that same fight. Let's see. Yes, we have some ladies going at it. Glowing rather than sweating, taking a break and brief breather from her final preparations, WBC flyweight champ Marlen Esparza zoomed in over the airwaves to discuss her looming pending showdown against champion Gabriela Alanis from the Argentine this Saturday over at the AT&T Stadium in San Antonio, Texas. Raring to return to the ring to defend her WBC crown, Marlen stressed she absolutely determined to continue her reign, and not only that, but go in search of becoming the undisputed champion of that division. This one might be an earlier 5th of July, but no, it's set to defend. What the heck's going on here? Let me just double check this quick little, see if there's any dates on this one. No, I cannot see any. So anyway, I if she fought on that card, wait a sec. Sorry. What am I talking about? I need another coffee. All right. So Ortiz is going to be fighting Stanionis upcoming, and on that same card, Marlen Esparza is going to take on, as I said, Gabriel Alanis from Argentina. Jeez. Let's move along quickly before I lose my tongue. Mexican former two-division world champion Luis Pantera Neri returns in a 10-round main event against Filipino former title challenger Frolian the Sniper Saludar. This is also taking place on July 8th at Metepec, Mexico. The 28-year-old Neri will look to continue his campaign towards another title run in the competitive junior featherweight division. This is being promoted by Zanfer Promotions. Neri Saludar and the undercard bouts will stream live and exclusively in the U.S. on ESPN Plus starting at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Neri, by the way, he's got 34-1 record, 26 knockouts. He burst on the championship team in 2017 with a fourth-round technical knockout against then unbeaten champ Shinsuke Yamanaki to capture the WBC bantamweight crown. And 3 years later, he defeated Aaron Alameda to win the WBC junior featherweight title via 12-round unanimous decision. Neri suffered his first defeat in a title unification bout versus WBA king Brandon Figueroa in May of 2021. Anyway, he's 3-0 with 2 knockouts since that Figueroa loss, since coming off an 11th round knockout over former title challenger Azat Hovhasniasan in a fight of the year level battle. Wow. Saludar, for his part, he's 33-6-1, 23 knockouts. He's a 13-year pro who unsuccessfully challenged Sho Kimura for the WBO flyweight title in 2018. And he's given stiff tests to former world champs Andrew Maloney and Diego Haiga. The 34-year-old is coming off a first-round technical knockout win over countryman Crison Amoyao last October. Also streaming from Metepec, Mexico, junior welterweight standout Carlos Sanchez. He's 24-1, taking on Marcos Gonzalez, 22-3 in a 10-rounder. In another 10-rounder, junior middleweight fight, Jorge Garcia Perez, 25-4, 21 knockouts, will score off against Ricardo Buenas, 18-9-1, by the way. Both fought on the same card last month. Perez scored a 7th-round knockout win over Hector Reyes, while Buenas lost to Olympian Marcel Rodriguez via 8-round unanimous decision. Also on the card, Rashid Martinez, 20-2 with 1 draw. 9 knockouts, will face Ernesto Garcia Flores, 10-2, 9 knockouts in an 8-round bantamweight tilt. And in a swing bout, flyweight Luis Rodriguez, 8-3, 3 knockouts, and Juan Carlos Barrientos, 5-2, 3 knockouts, will collide in a fight scheduled for 4 or 6 rounds. There you go. All streaming live on ESPN Plus as well. Now, this is courtesy of BoxingScene.com, and this is a great story by Cliff Rold. The anticipation is building for one of boxing's easiest things to get excited about, a generational welterweight title clash. They don't happen often, and they're almost always memorable and sometimes debated. Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Pernell Whitaker, Julio Chavez, Felix Trinidad, Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, all captivated the world in their time and captured a hell of a lot of coin to go with it. On July 29th, 5 years of what happens when chatter culminates in a showdown between Errol Spence and Terence Crawford for the undisputed throne. This Saturday on 2 different networks, we get the best look of yet what comes next. When they enter the ring, Spence will be 33. Crawford will be just a couple of months from turning 36. Next is particularly significant at welterweight because it's likely to go from next to now much sooner than later. Fans should be in for a treat. So on DAZN at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 25-year-old Virgil Ortiz, as I just said, 19-0, will face 28-year-old Imantas Stanionis, 14-0. That's taking a place on DAZN. I think I said that already. On Showtime, same night, 26-year-old Jaron Boots Ennis, 30-0, 27 knockouts, will score off against 30-year-old Romain Villa, 26-1. And the words have been flying back and forth, I might say, between those two. Considering the age and skill level of some of the fighters on display this weekend, we'll have, it's not outlandish to think, one of them might be already the best welterweight in the world. None of them have had the chance to prove it just yet. 2 of them will take a step backwards in pursuit. All 4 will enter the weekend rated in the top 10 at welterweight by both TBRB and Ring Magazine. Ennis is rated number 4 by TBRB and number 3 by Ring. Ortiz is rated number 4 and 3. Stanionis is rated 5th by both, and Villa is rated 7th and 10th. So I think my money's on Boots and Ortiz. Anyway, considering the consistent quality of the division over the years, that concentration of welterweight best in a single day, much less in a month, where the 2 best welters in the world will lock horns, it's a cause to celebrate. The broader context makes it even better. The winner of the Spence-Crawford fight might not stick around and defend the undisputed crown. With the announcement of Saul Alvarez, Jermell Charlo, a class of undisputed champions, could change the landscape above welterweight in a big way. If Charlo loses, he could always come back to face mandatory Chim Chaju And the winner of that clash would be big money for Spence or Crawford. If Charlo moves to super middleweight and wins, the chance that all the belts at junior middleweight could simply be up for grabs is high. Spence is going up for second divisional title, or Crawford for a fourth, would make a lot of sense. If the victor opts to stick around, they may not stay undisputed long. There won't be any legitimate dispute, but for those who insist on a set number of belts being unlisted or unified, on the belts being unified or else, the rematch clause for Spence Crawford could force some belts loose. If it doesn't, someone this weekend is going to be there waiting for the winner. That is very true. Alrighty, let's move along to another fight that's upcoming. August 5th, lightweight contender William Babyface Silva meets highly touted Ashton Sylve, which we've mentioned often on Knuckle Up on Talkin' Fight, at the American Airlines Arena in Dallas, Texas, as part of a DAZN pay-per-view card, headlined by Jake Paul against Nate Diaz. That card is being presented by Most Valuable Promotions, MVP, and Real Fight Inc., RFI, headed by Jake Paul, MVP, promotes Silva, and believe he's one of boxing's next superstars. Silva is 9-0 with 8 of his victories by knockout. Silva is a massive following on social media, served as a co-main event to the Jake Paul Anderson Silva fight back in 2022 over in Glendale, Arizona. Wow, very good. But Jake Paul had this to say about the heavyweight division. By the way, we can't miss out on a few choice words from Jake Paul, can we? Jake Paul has slammed the current heavyweight boxing scene with fights like Fury and Usyk falling by the wayside, and YouTuber come boxer shared his thoughts on the current heavyweight scene. He's called the elite heavyweights to stop ducking and fight each other. He said, "For me, the heavyweight division is in shambles. The heavyweight division right now is the only division that's not stepping up to the plate and making the big fights happen," he said. The lightweight division is doing it. Obviously, Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford. But for some reason, in the heavyweight division, we're not getting Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. We're not getting Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. We're not getting Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder. And we're not getting Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz. Like, what are these guys doing? Come on, let's make the sport a better place. You guys get paid to fight, so get in there and stop ducking each other. So there you go, Jake Paul. Now, I'm not going to say in response to Jake Paul, but according to Charles Brunn, who writes for BoxNews24.com, he says, Eddie Hearn says a fight between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder is now locked in for December in Saudi Arabia. But AJ must beat Dillian Whyte on August 12th first, or else the Bronze Bomber clash won't happen. In other words, the Joshua Wilder mega fight isn't locked in. The fight is conditional. Whyte, we might add, he's 29-3, 19 knockouts, is in a position to act as a spoiler to foil Joshua's huge $60 million plus fight against the WBC heavyweight champ Wilder, who's 43-2-1, by the way, 42 knockouts, which takes place next month on August 12th on DAZN pay-per-view at the O2 Arena in London, England. If Dillian Whyte upsets Joshua, he's going to make a major production crying and complaining if he isn't allowed to swap places with AJ and be the one getting the $60 million mega money fight against Deontay on the Saudis card in December. All right, that's all according to Eddie Hearn, of course. All right, let's have a quick look here at what Tyson Fury's up to. Tyson Fury hasn't defended his WBC heavyweight title against a stipulated challenger in 15 months. And many now are asking that the WBC strip Fury, especially if he decides to face Francis Ngannou in an exhibition match. Let's see. Even before he defended against Dillian Whyte in April 2022, Ed Hearn believed Fury needed to be relieved of the strap anyway, and made his feelings quite clear. He was apparently suspended while an investigation was taking place, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. President Mauricio Solomon told WBN, that's World Boxing News, the accusations didn't seem as though they could lead to anything concrete. He said, I have little knowledge of the allegations, Solomon said, but I wonder what credibility such a person could have when he claimed wrongdoing when is him doing it. He's admitted to receiving the money to lie. In my eyes, he has zero credibility. Whew. Fury has been getting it done has been getting it from all angles since winning the strap from Deontay Wilder, much like he did in 2015. Upon dethroning Vladimir Klitschko, Fury was set up to fail by several government bodies and media outlets. He eventually went through mental illness issues. As a result, therefore, stripping Fury now wouldn't be the best idea in the world, even though the WBC has ready-made clash for any vacant title. In addition, Deontay Wilder versus Andy Ruiz is on the negotiating table, and it would be an easy discussion for WBC to make it if they took Fury's belt. Wilder is number 1 and Ruiz is number 2, meaning Al Heyman's scheduled pay-per-view would be in prime position to be a mega money collision. Alexander Usyk has confirmed, though, he is fighting Daniel Dubois for a unified world heavyweight title defense in Poland. Usyk's promoter, Alex Krashuk, has announced the Ukrainian will fight Britain's Dubois in late August. Usyk will put his WBA, IBF, and WBO heavyweight belts on the line against the WBA mandatory challenger Dubois. Alexander Usyk has announced his unified world heavyweight title will take place in Poland August 26th. The Ukrainian star has confirmed details of the WBA mandatory title defense in a social media post, revealing he will face WBA regular champ Dubois in Tarzazinski Arena. Usyk has set to take on Tyson Fury in an undisputed showdown at Wembley in April, only for those negotiations to break down, as we just discussed. I'm very glad that we have the opportunity to organize my fight in Poland, where I won my first title 7 years ago, Usyk said. I want to thank the Polish people who are helping Ukraine so sincerely. Hundreds of thousands of my compatriots have been hosted by this wonderful country. Therefore, I hope that my fight will become one more opportunity for Ukrainians and the people of Poland to unite and strengthen our friendship. And there, my friends, you have it. All the news fit to print, from the heavyweights down to the lightweights and everyone in between, it seems, male and female. Thanks for joining me once again. Appreciate it very much. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you later on at 4 p.m. when I join Mike Gore for his show, Knuckle Up.